was a very valuable lesson I got from Gordon, was long rides. If you truly want a great horse, you've got to give him long rides, wet saddle pads, and concentrated training. Those three things in equal doses is really what makes a great horse. And I've never ever heard any other horseman in the world talk about these things. I might have heard them talk about them individually, but I've never heard anybody put it together as a package. Long rides with wet saddle pads and concentrated training, and three equal doses, a third, a third, a third. That's to get a really well-rounded, great horse that's dependable, reliable, safe, well-trained, obedient. But if you miss any one of those thirds, or you don't balance the thirds out evenly, you'll get into a wreck. Long rides. You can't get a really well-trained horse by just riding him for 10 minutes in the arena. At least once, twice a week, you've got to put them out there and put 2 or 3 hours of good, steady miles under their feet. Go out there on a trail and ride for 4 or 5 hours. Ride for the whole day. Long miles. You've got to just put miles under their feet. But not just miles at a walk. I know people that walk for 4 or 5 hours and never come back and there's not one drop of sweat on the horse. You've got to bring those horses back with wet saddle pads. Walk, trot, canter. Not just walk for 4 hours straight. Walk, trot, and do a lot of loping. Put miles under their feet. You know, like in the old westerns, they would lope across the field. Da-dump, da-dump, da-dump. You know, Gordon McKinlay always used to say they'd go on droving trips as kids and they'd leave on young horses and come back on old ones, which means they left on young, snorty, bronky horses and they came back with horses that were old souls. Okay? So long rides, but bring your horse back with wet saddle pads. And while you're out on this ride, give them concentrated training. What is concentrated training? Bending, softening, yielding, moving the body parts around, side passing, two-tracking. Get them broke to where you can control all 5 body parts. But too much suppling by itself, like a lot of horses in the arena, reining horses and dressage horses, they get lots of concentrated training and lots of wet saddle pads, but they're never ridden outside the arena. They spook at a damn grasshopper. You know, they're frightened to death outside the arena. So you've got to balance them out. A lot of race horses get wet saddle pads and they get lots of miles, but they have zero concentrated training, the bending, the softening, the giving. A lot of ranch horses get lots of wet saddle pads. They get lots of miles under their feet, okay, long rides, but they get zero concentrated training, so they're stiff, they're heavy, they won't move off your leg, they won't move off your hands. So if you truly want a Diaz or a Mendy or one of my well-trained, really well-trained horses, ask yourself, is he getting 3 equal doses of long rides? Is he coming back covered in sweat? Is he, while you're out there, are you training him? Circling the bushes, circling the trees, stopping, backing, turning. You know, that whole kit that we put out, Training on the Trail series. I showed you how to train a horse with the method outside the arena. Arena's good, but you can get a lot more done outside the arena, I promise you of that. So that combination that he taught me when I was 13, long rides, wet saddle pads, concentrated training, has stayed with me my entire career and produced thousands upon thousands of well-trained horses all over the world, because people have listened to what I've said about that, and I got that from Gordon, and implemented it and done really well.